News: the results of the 2020 census just came out, and for the first time in American history, the number of white people went down.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what you just saw, which was a very interesting reaction to some data from the 2020 U.S. Census. Now, apparently, as Jimmy Fallon just said, the white population has dropped for the first time in recorded history. It used to be about 68 or 69% if you go back to the year 2000, but now in 2020, it's 57.8%. So below 60. Now, that particular number is white only, not white and not white plus, just white only. If you include those identified as biracial, but mostly white, that'd be right around 61 or 62%, which is still less than the 68 or 69% back in 2000. So either way you slice it, the white population has been declining, is in decline right now. There's a few reasons for this, I suppose. I mean, the first thing, obviously, is a very low birth rate. Also, you have the opioid crisis. In some parts of the country, 25% of babies are born hooked on opioids, and the majority of that in these towns are white. The opioid crisis is not just a white thing, obviously, but when you look at the overall numbers, it's mostly white. So those are some contributing factors, but the reaction from Jimmy Fallon's crowd was a little bit surprising, but not really surprising, because we've all seen all the anti-white rhetoric on television, movies, literature, the internet, pretty much everywhere. If you have an anti-white thing that you say, you could pretty much do that and it won't be a problem. You won't be censored. You won't be targeted. They won't put a scarlet letter on your back. You can do that and it's no problem. Now, if you say something against Asians, well, we got to stop Asian hate. Say something against the LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z. We got to stop LGBT, all the other letters, hate. You say something against black folks, it kind of is weird. You know, it's all about the political narrative. If somebody black gets shot and killed by a white person, regardless of whether they're a police officer, regular normie, that can be used for political narrative. So the LGBT group known as Black Lives Matter can capitalize on that and make billions of dollars. Yes, I said billions with a B. But if you're just a regular guy going to work and whatnot, you get killed by somebody black, then there's no big deal. There's no stop black hate when that happens. So this whole cheering about white population decline is, I guess, okay. Now, my question would be, why is anybody cheering? For me, I look at it as a matter of fact. It's not a negative or a positive thing to me. I think it could be a negative if the white population is declining because of the influx of illegal aliens and anchor babies and things of that nature. If you're here legally and you're doing the right thing, I have no problem. If you are a legal immigrant, if you follow the law and do everything you're supposed to be doing, you spending your money, you becoming naturalized, you're on a green card, whatever, okay, cool. But when you got all these people coming across the border from all over the world, not just Mexico, I'm talking about from Africa, from Europe, from China, Russia, etc. When they come from all over the world, spend tens of thousands of dollars to get to the southern border and come in illegally, I got a problem with that. And then when they about 14 months pregnant and drop quintuplets and they're all anchor babies, now I got an issue with that. So if that's going on, that's causing the white population to decline because of just, people are being outpaced due to the illegal immigration. That's why I would have the issue. That's why I would be upset at it. But beyond that, it's just a matter of fact. Why would anybody be cheering? Well, I think the narrative about the white man being racist and white supremacist, things of that nature, people think that if the white population is declining, then there will be fewer of these so-called racist people. That is, I guess, the thought process also, because a lot of these people on the left, they think that the white man controls everything. They think he is supreme. They believe in white supremacy themselves. Therefore, they think the white man is supreme. So if there are fewer white people being born, then that means they have a chance at being able to rise to the top, at being able to get money, at being able to have a chance in society. But I have a news flash. Just because there are fewer whites does not mean that a person with a low IQ and low skills and lazy, doesn't want to do anything for himself, who was already unsuccessful, is going to magically become successful, self-motivated, self-driven, and get a million IQ points bonus. That's not how that works. You got to improve yourself rather than trying to go somewhere else where you think you're going to be a big fish in a small pond. How about improving yourself? Maybe that'll make a little bit of sense. But for now, I digress. I'm getting triggered. I don't really understand, because like I said, I don't think it's this whole thing about white folks being racist. I don't think that any one particular race has a monopoly on racism. But what I do think is that it's silly for black folks to be celebrating, because while the white population is declining, when you read these articles about that, they'll talk about how the Hispanic population is growing exponentially. It went from about 12.8 Hispanic population, 12.8% of the population in the U.S. to about 18 or 19, maybe even 20%. And if you include illegal aliens, you're way above 25, maybe even 30%. California is majority Hispanic. There's no state that's majority black. Articles will say that, but they will totally ignore anything about blacks. They'll talk about whites declining, Hispanics rising, Asians rising. How about the black folks? Well, black folks are also declining. I mean, contrary to popular belief about, the welfare queen with 48 kids, I mean, that's a real thing. You got a whole 64 pack of crayon worth of kids in your house in a 1-bedroom project. Everybody's pretty much elbow to elbow, window to the wall in a little project building. That's a real thing. The welfare queen does exist. However, there are quite a few women in the black community with no kids. Okay, because you got career motivated women that are just been unmarried and looking for the right guy. You have abortion going on. It's really crazy. I think probably half of our population, meaning black folks, is not here because of abortion. And you also have gun violence, which decreases our life expectancy. Black males is like what? We live to be about 64 or 65 on average. And that's like the lowest in the nation, right next to Native Americans, maybe less than Native Americans. Heart disease, diabetes, HIV, AIDS. Do you know that if you are a gay black male, you have a 1 out of 2 chance, a 50% chance of catching HIV? Did you know that? So there are quite a few factors that go toward us having a very low life expectancy. Also, a low birth rate, which is below replacement as well. It's higher than whites, but below replacement. We're at about 1.8, 1.9. How do you have these welfare mamas with 48 kids? Well, abortion, career women, people not having kids, incarceration. When you got 2 million black folks locked up in the penitentiary, how you going to have kids? Well, I don't want to go down that road. Generally, it's kind of hard to have kids when you are doing 25 years in the joint. So why would anybody black be celebrating the white population decline when their own population is declining as well in America? We're not advancing. We are 12.1% of the population, meaning black and black only. If you include biracial, multiracial that identifies black, it's about 13.4%. But in years past, we were at least 13%, meaning black only, and even 14%. Do you know that there were times like right around slavery time, like post-slavery, 1870, 1880, where we were the majority in some states in the country? South Carolina, I think, maybe even Georgia. I'm not really sure about Georgia, but that was South Carolina. We were the majority. But now, if we are 33% of a population in any state, that's big. But we were the majority at one point. What happened? Well, low birth rates, homicide, incarceration, immigration from Eastern Europe, immigration from Central America, immigration from all over the place, but not so much from the continent of Africa. You got a few Nigerians and whatnot coming over here, but it's not enough to really build the black numbers up. So I don't see why anybody's really celebrating. And also, my last point, it's funny seeing people celebrate this when they would not celebrate it under different circumstances. And I'll explain. Have you ever heard of white flight? The concept of, let's say you have a neighborhood that's mostly white. Then you have a black family that moves in. They're the only black family. And then once that one family moves there, you have another one, and then another one. And then as that starts to happen, white folks begin to leave for a variety of reasons. Maybe the neighborhood's going the wrong way. Maybe there's more crime and yards ain't cut, grass is, there. The value of the homes are going down. Maybe jobs are moving. Maybe they're getting more money and they're able to move on up the same way the black folks moved up. Maybe they're able to move up as well. But eventually, I've seen it happen. My granddad lived in a place like this in Roanoke. This is his story, actually. This is my dad's story growing up. He said that he moved to a neighborhood. It was all white. And they were the first black family that moved there. And, my grandparents were together, married. They're both school teachers, good family. They were the first one, and here comes another one and another one. And now if you go there in Roanoke, the neighborhood is all black. That's called white flight. Now, that is considered racist. So if white people voluntarily leave a place and maybe they go to a whole different country, just move away from the U.S., that's a bad thing because they're escaping black people. But if the population in the U.S. has a decline in white people, that's you applaud for that. So you applaud whites becoming fewer in number in America, but you say it's racist when whites become fewer in number or totally leave a neighborhood. I don't understand how that makes any sense. And one last point as I wrap it on up, as I close, when Trump won the election in 2016, how many times did I hear this thing here, this phrase, oh, I'm going to Canada, I'm leaving the U.S. So did you apply the white population decline? If you did, and we are 58% white in America, why would you go to a whiter place in Canada, 72% white? Why not go to Mexico? Oh, they don't speak English, ABL. All right, cool. I got it. Speak Spanish. No, habla español. Okay, how about Jamaica? Huh? How about Bahamas? Barbados, St. Vincent, St. Kitts, St. Nevis, Montserrat, one of these islands right there in the Caribbean. If you're living in Miami, Florida, it's right there. Hop on the flight straight from Miami International. You be in Jamaica in a very short period of time, right? Why not go there? Why you want to go all the way to Manitoba or Yellowknife or somewhere in Canada, huh? Or you want to go to Europe to an 80, 90% white, ethnically white place. It's weird. It's really weird. I think it's all about virtue signaling, about saying how I'm not racist, I'm solid, Black Lives Matter, but you live a life much different. You don't want to live in a mostly quote unquote minority area. You want to go all the way away to majority white country, but at the same time you applaud and you cheer when America has a reduction in the white population. Make that make sense for me? You probably can't, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about the white population declining in America? Is it a good thing, bad thing? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a matter of fact. It's just a matter of fact. My question would be, if whites are declining in the population, who are the ones that are taking their spot? Because you have 100%, right? In order for one percentage to go down, another one must go up. So you're getting more Hispanics. Okay, are we getting a lot of these hardworking family men and women coming in here like I see a lot? Are we getting them or are we getting the narcos? Which one are we getting? Okay, we're having less black folks. What's going on with that? I'm seeing some health problems. See, there's a lot of other things I can look at, I can take from that data rather than just, being a seal and chirping at this particular stat being what it is. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.